Having a cousin in the Army and friends throughout the military has really changed how I feel about our troops. I am now more thankful for them than I ever have been in my entire life. I think it truly is a blessing to have such amazing people risking their lives every day just so we can have the freedom that we do. First, I'd like to talk to you about the Army. The Army was founded in 1802. There are 9 different rankings in the Army, with private being the lowest and sergeant major being the highest. Once you are accepted into the Army, you're accepted into boot camp. Boot camp for the Army is 9 weeks long. Once you graduate boot camp, you are stationed wherever they pick you and you will go to combat normally. Most people don't get to pick where they are stationed in the Army. They just get stationed there. My cousin recently graduated from boot camp and is now stationed in Washington, D.C. being an old guard for the President. Being an old guard for the President means guarding the President. He also gets to guard the unknown soldier. Another branch I'd like to talk to you about is the Marines. The Marines was founded in 1775 and is one of the hardest to join. You go to boot camp for 3 months once you join the Marines. Once you graduate, there are many different things you can do. You can go to SEER school or you get stationed somewhere out in war. The Marines is always at war and they fight for the Navy. Marines is one of the strictest branches they have. There are 12 different rankings in Marines, private being the lowest and sergeant major being the highest, just like the Army. Captain Samuel Nichols was a huge difference and was the first officer commissioned there. He made a huge difference to everyone. You cannot pick where you are stationed and you have to be one of the smartest to get in the Marines. Next, I'd like to talk to you about the Air Force. The Air Force has 14 different rankings with Airman Basic, lowest, and the Chief Major Sergeant the highest. This is the largest seagoing fighting force. Wherever you go, you are stationed for 2 years and you also do not get to pick. Whenever you take your ASVAB, it is the hardest for them to get into. This is the hardest test. Next, I'd like to talk to you about the Navy. The Navy has 11 rankings with Seaman Recruit being the lowest and Master Chief Petty Officer being the highest. When you are in the Navy, you get to travel around the world all no matter what. When you are in the Navy, you don't get to go to combat. The Marines will always fight for you, no matter what. Next, I'd like to talk to you about the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard has 15 different rankings, with Seaman Recruit being the lowest and Major Chief Petty Officer being the highest, just like the Navy. You also do not go into combat when you are in the Coast Guard. There are many different positions, and you travel all over the world just like you do in the Navy. But the Coast Guard mostly deals with water. Another thing that's through all the military is that you can't take college classes anymore when you're in the military. Your wife can or your husband can, but you can't. Once you get out of the military, it is paid after 3 years. SEER school is something anyone can do throughout the military. SEER school is basically a survivor school that lasts for 2 weeks. They leave you on your own and make sure that you can survive, so when you go to war, they know that you are okay. People don't realize how much our troops really do for us. They are out there for not just their freedom, but also ours. And I hope sooner or later we will be able to show them that we truly are thankful for them and how much they do for us is really a lot.